So I'm out here where our cover crop has already been grazed over. This would have been grazed over about the first part of August, but you're going to see here there's a fair amount of biomass that actually came back at the end, which is a great thing for ground cover. We did get this fall about an inch to inch and a half of precipitation after harvest, which since we were at 6 inches for the year, that inch and a half is a fair amount for us here. So this is going to show you the amount of biomass that's left. This is after the temperature already getting down into the low 20s here multiple times, and how much stuff is still greened up down below on this canopy capturing sunlight. There's of course manure spread about out here. We were grazing this more in like 40-acre chunks, so we would move these animals I think once every 2 weeks roughly, in that ballpark, instead of daily like we would do across the grass that we're trying to sustain. Some of that's from a time frame standpoint that we just didn't have time to do it, but then also in this crop ground, especially when it's dry, I'm not sure that we're gaining much by doing intensive grazing across this, because I don't think the animal impact's doing a lot as long as we can keep them kind of evenly spread out in small paddocks here. So anyways, I was just going to show you guys kind of what we have going on here for green material that's coming back, the amount of forage that's left over on the other side. And I think we were averaging about 1 animal per acre per month on this stuff when it was green. You will learn when you graze cover crop, as it gets brown in the fall, it looks like there's just as much biomass, but of course all the moisture's gone, and now we're probably more like, I don't know, 4 acres per animal per month or so instead of 1. So if you're banking on the same amount of grazing on stuff when it was green, when it turns brown in the fall, even though it looks like a fair amount of biomass, we've kind of learned that it goes away a lot quicker once that stuff sort of dries out. So here's down in this canopy, we can see the amount of ground cover down in here, and the straw that's left standing to catch snow, which these were oats, tame oats that are out in there. Then we've got collards and some radishes. We actually seeded some fleet meadow brome, some annual grass in here, and it was supposed to come after the other stuff kind of got done, and it's coming in there. And we also have volunteer oats now that are coming back, which is a great thing actually from a soil health standpoint. So what we're in here now is actually the cover crop that hasn't been grazed yet, and you guys can see here, I'm sure there's a fair amount of biomass left in here to be grazed off, and it's really good high quality feed. So really our problem on this, when the cows and the calves are together on it, is that the cows actually get a little beyond the body condition fat wise that we would like them to probably be. But going into the winter, that means we can push them quite a bit longer without feeding, which is also a positive. So yeah, as you look around, this is what they haven't grazed yet. You can kind of see some cows in the background. They're in another 40-acre roughly chunk. This will be the next 40-acre chunk, and then they'll keep moving through this hopefully till it gets either too snowy or our water system will freeze up out here. So anyways, I think this was kind of a home run from gain on the cattle standpoint. Did it cost us money to probably do this cover crop compared to cropping this ground? It did, I'm sure. I mean, rough guess, I bet we probably lost $50 or more an acre, even with some equip money thrown into this, versus what we could have got out of a half decent, let's say, winter wheat crop this year. But long term, we're hoping that the diversity in this cover crop, the built organic matter, and just all the good things that comes from running animals across this outweigh the little bit we lost this year on this farm ground.